Hades 2 came, and this one is a lot like the first. The game's story follows Melinoi, daughter of Hades and Persephone. The underworld has been captured by Kronos, a titan of time, who escaped from his prison. Aside from the usual pantheon of Greek gods and goddesses, the game also features Titans, Selene, Titaness of the Moon, a new boon giver for Melinoi, and also Prometheus, Titan of Forethought, a boss fight. Kronos has also enlisted Typhon, who is known as the father of monsters. Typhon is not a titan himself, but a primordial born from Gaia and Tartarus. Chaos also makes a reappearance. So, in the game, Hades is being held captive by Kronos in Tartarus, along with Zagreus from the first game. Our hero Melinoi lives in a swamp camp under the tutelage of Hecate, goddess of witches. The base camp also houses allies and rivals, including Dora, a sarcastic ghost who eventually gives Melinoi the ability to upgrade the base's decorations, Nemesis, goddess of vengeance and rival for Melinoi, Hypnos, who is always sleeping, Skelemaeus, a snarky skeleton captain who serves as Melinoi's master of arms, and Odysseus for some reason. As in the first game, Melinoi descends through 4 regions of Hades, consisting of around 10 encounters, each getting progressively harder as they go. The 4 regions are Erebus, Oceanus, Fields of Morning, and Tartarus. At the end of each region, Melinoi faces first Hecate as a trial, then Scylla, an octopus siren monster with a rock band. The third boss is Cerberus, Hades' 3-headed dog, also captured by Kronos, and finally Kronos himself. Same formula as Hades 1 with different regions and bosses. Differing from Hades 1, Melinoi is eventually called to aid her extended family on Mount Olympus. The second route is roughly the same as delving into Hades, but she's going up instead of down, and there's also a few other minor differences. The 4 regions of the Olympus route are the City of Ephyra, the Rift of Thessaly, Mount Olympus, and the Summit. The guardians of the regions are Polyphemus, a cyclops first met by Odysseus in his story, Eris, goddess of strife, Prometheus, titan of forethought, and finally Typhon, father of monsters. Aside from the main gods and titans, Melinoi also meets allies along her journey, including a giant spider named Arachne, Narcissus from the legends, Echo, a cursed nymph, and Medea, a witch. Also, Circe, Icarus, Charon, Moros, the primordial of doom, and Heracles. Visually, the game is similar to the first game, with some varying style for each region and clean graphics, dark colors. The climb up Mount Olympus was a refreshing change in scenery, featuring bright and snowy mountainous ruins after the dark ocean. Hades is a roguelite, so the game features randomized levels and power-ups, and when you die, you go back to the base level. The power-ups in Hades are called boons, which you receive from Olympic gods and other notables. The power-ups can have varying effects, greatly changing Melinoi's abilities and making her much stronger. And you get a lot of them in a single run. For me, a big part of the fun of playing Hades is finding surprising combinations of boons. As in any roguelite, the boons are random, so sometimes you get a run where every boon is amazing and they work with each other, and you feel like a god. And other times your boons are mid and you will probably die. It got to the point, for me, where if I saw an Aphrodite boon too early in the game, I'd just kill myself. Her boons are too mid. Usually the player is offered a choice from 3 options. Each god has a certain theme, and their own effects often stack on themselves. Gods typically have a theme and a special unique effect. For instance, Zeus causes lightning bolts to come down, and Poseidon's boons often make waves pushing back opponents. A whole separate video could be made just comparing the different boons the gods give. There are also legendary boons, which only unlock after the player collects a certain number of boons from a single god in a run, and duo boons, which are a combo boon stacking on 2 gods' effects. The gods are mostly the same as in the first game, though the boons are all new. Selene is the exception, the titaness of the moon. Her moon powers function differently than the other gods. She gives Melinoi the ability to do a hex on the battlefield, as determined by the first boon you get from Selene. Further, Selene boons upgrade the chosen hex and have their own upgrade screen. The hex's abilities vary, and many are very good, ranging from turning enemies into sheep to dropping a moonbeam atom bomb on the battlefield. Hades 2 also introduces a boon called Infusion. Each boon is accompanied by an elemental type: fire, earth, water, and air. The infusions play on these types. Once you die, you lose all of your boons and coins collected on a run. However, you keep all the materials you found, which can be used in your home base to unlock permanent buffs for Milinui, which aid in future runs. There are too many types of materials you can collect to list here, and some are only available in certain regions or are dropped by certain bosses. The main resources are ash and bone. The materials can be used to unlock new areas of the base by doing a ritual at Hecate's Cauldron. They can also be used to unlock tarot cards, which have benefits in the runs, or they can be used to unlock and upgrade new weapons. There are 6 weapons in total Milinui can use, each with a different playstyle: the Witch's Staff, the Sister's Blades, the Umbral Flames, the Moonstone Axe, the Argent Skull, and the Black Coat. I tried out all of them, but ended up sticking with knives, which have a good balance of range and close combat. There are also 5 familiars Milinui can unlock, which can aid her in battle: Phrynos the Toad, Tula the Cat, Rocky the Raven, Hecuba the Hound, and Gale the Polecat. The other resource worth mentioning is the Nectar of the Gods, which you can give one of to each of the NPCs in exchange for a keepsake, which you can equip one at a time during your runs, and which give you benefits. What is great about Hades is the near endless dialogue. After and during every run, the gods and heroes all have unique dialogue, which is usually context aware. The characters comment on the latest foe Milinui died against or her latest achievement, and it's all voice acted. The game is fun and addictive, however it takes too long to get through a single run if you go all the way. For me, it typically took 1.5 to 2 hours. You can stop in the middle of a run by quitting and the game will return to that point, but you've lost all that momentum at that point, so it's gonna be hard to get back up to speed. There are also way too many resources in the game, and it's a headache to sort through them every time you return to the base. But all said and done, Hades is probably the best all-around experience you can get from a rogue-lite type game. The game is challenging, but the constant progression means with patience, even your grandma could probably beat it, eventually. It took me around 40 runs to beat both Kronos and Typhon. The game keeps on going after that though.